In this video, I will be discussing what is a polygon and what is a regular polygon. Okay, so these are two separate terms. So why we are going to discuss this? Because construction of a polygon is very important in engineering drawing subject, because you are going to draw polygons, different kinds of polygons, particularly the regular polygon in the subject, later on subject. Okay. Now, so before we discuss or before we define what is a polygon, I should be discussing what is a two-dimensional object and three-dimensional object, because this is very important to understand what is a polygon, right? So I have a couple of examples here which I will show you to make you understand what is a two-dimensional object and three-dimensional object, right? So these objects here are three-dimensional object. Why it is called as three-dimensional object? Because it has three dimensions of the object. Three dimensions means the three dimensions would be length, width and breadth. Okay. Now this is a three-dimensional object. This is a three-dimensional object which has certain length, certain width or height and certain breadth. Okay, it has three different dimensions: length, width and breadth, right? So this is a three-dimensional object. Similarly, this is also a three-dimensional object because it has length, it has width and it has breadth. Length, width, breadth. You can take those three things in any way. So normally we will call the larger length as length, the larger distance as length, like that. So this is also a three-dimensional object. Now, so I will show you some examples for two-dimensional object. What is this? This is a trapezium. Okay, it's a plane figure. It's a plane figure. Even though it has some thickness, when we are discussing the problems for a two-dimensional figures or two-dimensional objects, you need to consider the third dimension to be negligible. Okay, now why this is called as a two-dimensional object? Because it has some length and it has some width or height, but the third dimension, this direction, length is this direction, width is this direction and breadth should be this direction, either to the front or to the back. But when compared to the length and the width, the third dimension, which is the breadth, is very small comparatively. That means if I consider the length of this particular diagram or this particular plane figure object, this length would be approximately 30 centimeters or maybe somewhat larger also. So 30 centimeters, 20 or 25 centimeters. But what about this third dimension? This is only 3 or 4 or 5 mm, not even 1 centimeter, right? So this kind of an object is called as a two-dimensional object, or in general terms, this is a plane figure. This is a plane figure. This is also a plane figure. This is also a plane figure. All are similar. They have only two dimensions. The third dimension is available, but the third dimension is very small when compared to the other two dimensions. That's why a two-dimensional object is called as a two-dimensional object only because the third dimension is considered as negligible. You need not consider the third dimension, then only we will be able to solve problems. As we have comfortably understood what is a 2D figure, now we can discuss what is a polygon. Now I am talking about polygon, not regular polygon. This is different again, slightly different. So what is a polygon? Polygon is a two-dimensional figure or a two-dimensional object having more than two sides, and it should be a closed one. That means a polygon should have more than two sides or two edges, with the edges being closed. It should be a closed figure and it should be a two-dimensional object. So polygon is a 2D object or a 2D figure with having more than two sides and need to be a closed one. That is a polygon. Now if I show you some examples, if this is one edge, this is another edge, okay, two edges joined at one point, one end point. But can I call this as a polygon? No, because this does not have a closed figure. It is not closed. If I compare this with this particular thing, this figure, this is a closed figure because there is no open ends. This has open ends at both sides, here also and here also. But there is no open end here. Everything is a closed. Now, in the definition I just told you, the polygon should be having more than two sides. Why more than two sides only? Because if I consider only two sides, this one and this one, you cannot form a closed figure with just two sides. Definitely you need the third side for the figure to form a closed one. Okay, one side, the second side. It cannot be formed as a closed figure. Only when I add the third side, then only this particular figure becomes a closed one. So what is a polygon? Polygon is a two-dimensional closed figure having more than two sides. This satisfies all the three. It's a two-dimensional object, it's a closed one, and it has more than two sides. So more than two sides means the minimum of three sides. It can have more sides also, but the minimum condition is at least three sides, more than two sides. So this is a 2D object which is closed, and this is your polygon. Now, if I consider this, as I said, polygon is a 2D figure. Even this is also a 2D figure, right? But this is not a polygon because polygon should have edges, sides. This is one edge or one side. This is another edge or another side. The three edges of a triangle or the three sides of a triangle. So only when there is a side, straight edges like this or this, only then that particular figure will be called as a polygon. This is not a polygon. Even if I consider this, this is also not a polygon because either this one or this one have curved lines. They should not be having it, they should not have curved lines. It should definitely have a straight edges. So this one or this one or this one, all these three figures are examples of polygons. Okay, construction of a regular polygon is very important for the subject. So for that reason you need to first know what is a regular polygon. Okay, regular polygon is a polygon having all sides equal and all internal angles are also equal. If I consider the same examples which I just showed you to make you understand what is a polygon, this is a polygon, this is a polygon, right? But these are not regular polygons because what is this length? This length would be approximately 30 centimeter. This will be approximately 25 centimeter. This will be more than 30 centimeter. This will be approximately 10 centimeter, etc. Approximate values. All the sides are unequal. They are not equal to each other. But for a regular polygon, all these sides should be equal to each other. What is this one? This is an equilateral triangle where all the three sides are equal. The length of side AB and the length of side BC and CA, all the three are equal to each other. Right? So in an equilateral triangle, you know all the sides should be equal to each other. And also all internal angles should also be equal to each other. That means angle BAC should be equal to angle ABC, this angle and this angle, angle BAC, angle ABC, and also this should also be equal to angle ACB, this angle. All the three angles in the internal angles should also be equal. Then only such kind of a polygon will be called as a regular polygon. If I take another example, here this is a square. AB is equals to BC, BC is equals to CD, CD is equals to DA. Here also all sides are equal and all internal angles are also equal. Here the angle will be 90, 90, 90 and 90. So for a polygon to become a regular polygon, the condition that needs to be satisfied is two conditions. One is all sides are equal, all sides are equal, all internal angles are also equal, all internal angles are also equal. So in an equilateral triangle, the internal angle here would be 60, 60 and 60. And in a square, the internal angles will be 90, 90, 90 and 90. So this is a pentagon, 5-sided polygon. Here also the angle will be equal to each other. It will be 108 degrees for a pentagon. Again here also this side, this side, this side, this side, this side. All the sides are equal to each other. If I draw pentagon like this, this will not be called as a regular polygon even though it has 5 sides, because just by seeing the figure you can tell that this length and this length are not equal to each other, and this is also not equal to the other two. Similarly, all the sides are unequal to each other. Okay, even though two sides, if these two sides are also equal to each other, that means BC is equal to CD, then also this particular figure does not become a regular polygon, because for a regular polygon all the sides should be equal to each other. That means AB should be equal to BC, BC should be equal to CD, CD should be equal to DE, and DE should be equal to EA. And also all internal angles are also equal. This angle, this angle, this angle, all these angles should also be equal. When the sides are unequal, automatically the angles will also be not equal. Right? So when the sides are not equal, angles will also be not equal. So this does not become a regular polygon. So this is how we will differentiate between a polygon and a regular polygon. So what is a polygon? Polygon is a two-dimensional figure which is closed and having more than two sides. That means at least 3 sides. And what is a regular polygon? Regular polygon is a polygon having all sides equal and all internal angles are also equal.